Hello and welcome back to Matt Smart Cars, and welcome to my 1,000 mile video with my 135. Now, what have I found over the last 1,000 miles? Well, there's a couple of things. Let's start with how this car drives. What have I discovered about how this thing drives over the last 1,000 miles? Well, I think it's incredibly capable. It's March in the UK. The weather here is always terrible. We get such a mixed bag. It's quite nice today, to be fair, but it's been so wet, cold, miserable, and there isn't a single situation where I've found this car not good enough. It's handled every single weather situation that's been thrown at it. So when it's completely wet and horrible, the four-wheel drive system on this is incredible. It really is so capable and so fast across the ground. The engine performance, it feels like pretty much the whole way across the rev range, other than right at the very top, is extremely strong. It is a strange one, really. When you get right up to the top end of the revs, the power almost seems like it drops off a little bit. There's a little flat spot in the engine right at the very top, but I mean, for everyday driving, when do you ever get right to the top of the rev range? You don't really. An interesting one as well, the sound. I've already mentioned the sound, obviously, in my first video with this car. The sound, it's just not there. Like, it's just not there compared to the M140, which I have run before this. However, I don't think it's too bad. You can go into the settings in the iDrive system actually and change how much engine sound you want. And when I say how much engine sound you want, what it actually means is how much of it do you want pumped through the sound system. So you can have, depending on driving modes, you can have balanced or you can have reduced. I have it depending on driving mode. So I drive the car in sport individual. So I put the engine into sport, so I get the valve in the exhaust open and the more responsive throttle. I have everything else in comfort, just because I quite like the way the steering feels in comfort. I think the steering in sport, there's a bit too much artificial weight put into the steering. But I have to say that it is so damn fast across the ground, this thing, that I do think that A to B is faster than a 140, no doubt about it. And in the wet, I would say it's faster than an M2 comp across the ground. I really do, unless obviously I'm driving this and a racing driver's driving the M2 comp. But I'm very impressed with this. What are the niggles? So there are a few that I've found. So first things first, the air conditioning. In the previous M140i, they were little dials that you could use for the temperature. Really easy, really simple. This, they're now buttons, which can be a little bit annoying and take a long time. If you've got it really low one day and then you have to put it really high the next, it takes forever to keep pressing through that button. It's a bit on the annoying side. And then the synchronize. Previous shape, there was a button which said sync. In this, there isn't. You have to go into menu AC and then go into the iDrive and click synchronize. Why is it that hard? Why isn't there just a button with sync on it? I understand they're trying to reduce the amount of clutter here, and it does look great, but one more button? I mean, come on, one more button would look really good. And the other niggle I've found is a very annoying one. It might be individual to this 135. I do need to get it booked into BMW, to be fair, to have a look. Now, I've got the Harman Kardon sound system in this, but a lot of times I jump into this car, turn the music on, as you do. I've got a nice sound system. There's no bass. I lose the bass. Whether there's a problem with the subwoofer or whether it's, I don't know, it's got to be a software problem, because the following day it then works fine again and I've got all the bass I need. It's a really strange one. If you guys out there have got any 135 or any BMW for that matter with your Harman Kardon sound system that loses the bass, let me know, because it'd be nice to know that I'm not the only one, and how did you rectify that? It's a really strange one. In terms of other things, the gearbox, sometimes when you're pulling away from a junction, sort of when you want to get out quickly, can be a little bit sluggish, and then other times it can be a bit too quick. Whether that's because the car isn't really broke in yet, I don't know. And the other thing is the start-stop system. So I turn it off every single time I jump into the car. That's because when you come to a set of traffic lights and you slow down to stop, it almost turns the engine off before you've even stopped. So if you're pulling up to a set of traffic lights and then they turn green, it stops the car and starts it again, which is really annoying. Not dangerous, not anything. It's just an annoyance. And there's a fuel stop warning coming up. Use a lot of fuel with this. Although I am still getting low 30s, which, to be fair, I mean, I'd like to say that I'm driving this, I can't, like, with eco in mind, but I'm not. I'm just enjoying this for every inch of the performance that it has, and it's got a lot to offer. I mean, let's put the gearbox back into sport. Go. See, I mean, the sound isn't too bad, but it is quick. It is a very fast car. This. It just feels so stable, and it is very comfortable across country. I was doing a lot of, see, I've got to 1,000 miles a lot quicker than I would have thought. A lot of motorway miles, and I don't think I missed the adaptive suspension. I'm glad I've gone for the 19s. If you're speccing one of these and are torn between 19s or 18s and adaptive, I don't think you're going to miss out if you go for the 19 and don't have the adaptive suspension, but you will get a much better looking car in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, that's a couple of the little niggles that I've found. I mean, I sound like I'm being quite negative here, but all in all, I love this car. I really do. I feel like it's got under my skin a lot more than I thought it would. I did have an M135i this time last year, actually, for a couple of months. However, it was lockdown #1 in the UK, so I couldn't drive it. So it didn't really, I didn't feel like I bonded with that car, whereas this one, I've done a lot of miles already. I feel like it's already getting under my skin in a big, big way. But yeah, there we go. I mean, just a really quick update on how the ownership's going with the 135. I have got a lot planned with this car, a lot of road trips. Can't wait to get it back out to Cafe in a Machine once that opens again in a couple of months. I think it's May now. But yeah, all in all, a couple of little niggles, but nothing too serious. I love this car. I think it's great. Really, really do. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come. And if you want to see the main bulk of what I do, content, please go and check out Gearbox TV. The link's in the description below. Just done the new M3 and M4 competition actually, so head over there and have a watch of that to see what I thought, and also to see what Tom Ingram thinks. BTCC touring car driver. That was a very interesting one. But yeah, if you've got any questions as well about the 135, do please pop them in the description in the comment section of this video, and follow me on Instagram as well, Matt Smart Cars. And well, I'm gonna go put some fuel in the car, and I'll catch up with you guys next time. Ciao.